Hello, hello. Let me situate this mic better. Happy Friday. Just gonna let a few more seconds go before I start my topic for today. I hope everybody had a good week. For those who are watching this live and for those who are watching the replay, I hope this was a great week for you guys, and it's Friday, so yay! Cheers to the weekend. Okay, I'm going to start. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my Foodie Fam Live series, which is a challenge that I am doing. One, to get myself more comfortable with coming live on social media, and two, so that you could get more of a personable vibe of how I am in real life and, real time. And today I'm going to be showing you guys what I deem to be important things that you should have in your pantry if you're trying to lose weight, trying to maintain weight, and on just a plant-based lifestyle journey. So yeah, a little bit about myself. My name is Chantel, and I lost 44 pounds and counting following a plant-based lifestyle. And now I teach people how to do the same without compromising flavor and excitement. So I'm going to move you guys over to my table to show you some of the things that I think are very important to have in your pantry. I use all these things probably multiple times within a week, and I always have it stocked. So let me just move the camera over a little bit, and we're just gonna get to it. Okay, so my very first thing that I want to show you guys would probably be my nutritional yeast. Yes, I keep a big old tub of this because I use it so often. I use this on my popcorn if I want like a cheesy popcorn situation. I use this to make dairy-free cheese sauces like cashew cream sauce, stuff like that. This has some protein in it, which is great too, because even though we're plant-based, we still have to have protein in our diet. It's very important. Next, I will show maple syrup. I use this for breakfast when I'm making overnight oats. I use this if I'm doing a kind of like sweet and savory thing when it comes to, say, like baked sweet potato. So this is like my sweetener. If I'm making a smoothie that needs a sweetener, I also use maple syrup for that. So this is something that I always have on hand. And then I absolutely love lentils, so I always have lentils somewhere in the house. I use red lentils, and then I use brown or green lentils also. You could use these canned, but I personally think you get more bang for your buck when you have it dried. And it only takes about like 10 to 15 minutes to cook. So I just keep these on hand. It's a great source of protein and very versatile. So these lentils, I jerk them, I make them into meatballs, I make them into patties, make them into burgers, or just eat them as is over rice. Sometimes I curry the red ones. There's just endless possibilities with these. And they're also a great source of iron, which, we all need. So I love them. Another thing that I keep on hand is popcorn kernels. So I personally make my own popcorn as like my snack of choice. So these kernels, they have to stay always and forever. I have an electric air popper that I use to make my popcorn with. And when snack time comes around, I usually pop this up and then season it with some nutritional yeast to get that cheesy popcorn flavor with some like olive oil and a little bit of salt. Chef's kiss. Works every time. It's like my favorite snack right now while trying to maintain losing fat. Next, I have some whole cashews. This I use one if I want to make some kind of like trail mix situation. But I also use this to make sauces. So I'll, let this soak with some boiling water for about like 15 to 30 minutes to soften it up. Then I throw it in the blender with some nutritional yeast, some maybe garlic, seasoning, spices, and stuff like that to make either like a cream sauce. Sometimes I make like a crema with it. It's so versatile and I love that. Then I would say some type of plant-based milk. Hello guys, how are you guys doing? So I usually have some kind of like shelf-stable milk that I have all the time because one, I never know when I need milk, and I go through milk so much that I do both refrigerated and self-stable. I do unsweetened almond or oat milk depending on what I'm using. Sometimes I'll use soy milk too. It all depends. So this is an absolute must for me too. Then going into the grains category, bulgur. I just recently got this big old bag. Right now I'm not making anything. I'm showing what I deem to be important things that you should have in your pantry for a plant-based lifestyle, especially if you're trying to lose some body fat or lose weight. But on Monday I'm actually going to be doing a live meal prep cook with me type video at 6 p.m. so you can tune in for that. So for the bulgur, love the stuff also. Grains is a really good when it comes to keeping you satiated, keeping you full throughout the day. And I love how versatile this is because I use it in replacement of rice. I know we all love our rice, but sometimes, we just gotta give it up. So I use this as a replacement for rice, and then I also use it in chili because to me, bulgur kind of has like a meaty texture. So it could mimic, say, like a ground beef in terms of texture. Not necessarily flavor, but texture, definitely. And then when you mix it in with the beans, hi Alexander, how are you? When you mix it in with like beans, you get a complete protein meal, so you're going to be full longer. So this, we are besties, we go together real bad. Then I will have to say my next bestie would have to be quinoa. And this is also another versatile whole grain that keeps you full long. It also is a good source of protein depending on how you make it and all of that. Love this down as well. I use this also to replace rice. And yeah, just love it. You could really season it in any way you want, and it's, translates pretty well in terms of like flavor transfer, which I love. But just pro tip, make sure you actually rinse this out really well, because if you don't rinse it off, it tastes like dirt. Not gonna lie to you guys, so make sure you're rinsing this really, really well if you're gonna use it. Up next, we have a good old bag of sweet potatoes. Love sweet potatoes also. Also find this to be very versatile. I bake these, I mash them, I cut them up and cook them in the air fryer to make French fries. And yeah, I just love sweet potatoes. They're pretty good in terms of satiation as well. They keep you full longer. A good source of healthy carb. And yeah, just love them. Highly recommend you guys try them out if you haven't tried sweet potatoes before. They're just perfect. You could really make them sweet or savory. Sometimes I sprinkle them with some cinnamon, a little bit of like maple and salt, and it's so good. Let's see, up next, almond butter. I put this on almost anything too. Great source of healthy fat. For snacks, I cut up some like apples and use this as like a dipping sauce for it. Get a little bit of cinnamon and sprinkle it on that as well. I also use this in smoothies, and also if I'm doing like a acai bowl, this will be like my healthy fat added to the acai bowl. What else? Sweet potato fries are so good. Also, hey girl, how you doing? Chia seeds, very important. A good source of omega-3s. a good source of fiber and also protein. I use this in my overnight oats. I use this in smoothies. I use it as an egg replacer when I'm baking things. Very versatile, very good for you. So I always have this on deck as well. As you can see, I need to actually get more because we are slacking right now, but that's fine. Let's see. I also have some kind of canned bean on me too. Why? Because I'm not going to be spending hours cooking dried beans. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes it's just not in the plan, so we have to have some beans on deck. You know, just rinse them off, throw them in the pot, season it whichever way you need to season it, and then you're good to go. So always have this on deck. It's usually, let's see, what beans do I usually have? Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas or garbanzo beans, cannellini beans, and pigeon peas. This I use for rice. Cut chia seeds. So you have to even put chia seed gel. Oh, have I ever put chia seed gel in my hair or skin? I haven't tried that yet. I have done flaxseed gel. I make that for my hair when I'm retwisting my locks and stuff like that to add extra nutrients to my hair and scalp. But chia seed gel, no, I haven't tried it yet. Up next, tahini, another good source of protein, and also it's perfect for like dressings. I use this when I'm making like this past week I made some falafel, so I made like a lemon tahini dressing for that. You can use this when you're making homemade hummus. And yeah, so I usually just use this for dressings. You could bake with it. Some people like to put it in like brownies and stuff like that too. And I just like it. The taste is very acquired, I will say, but it usually pairs well with whatever you're mixing it into. And then last but not least, good old-fashioned oatmeal. Love oatmeal. I literally eat overnight oats probably every day. I'm not too picky when it comes to breakfast items. Can I make a video about the falafel? I can, yes, I could definitely do that. And I also have a long form video for it if you want to check that out on my YouTube channel. But yes, I can make one too. So with oatmeal, I use this for overnight oats. My typical go-tos for that would be like, it's oatmeal, oatmeal, chia seeds, some almond milk, maple syrup, cinnamon, and then either I'm using peanut butter in there or I'm using raisins. And that's like my two flavors that I kind of like interchange depending on the week. But this is also a good binder. So if I'm making like lentil meatballs or say like oat patties, stuff like this, I use oatmeal for that. So these are basically majority of what I deem to be important things to have in your house at all times. And then of course, like you need your fresh produce and stuff like that so that you have a more well-rounded meal. But these always in my cabinet, always in stock. So like when I go to the grocery store, my like grocery bills aren't as high because I always have these things in stock. I usually bulk buy some of these things, so I go to say like a BJ's, a Costco, or a Sam's Club for the things that I know that I'm always going to be using every week, so that it cuts down on like my prices when it comes to yeah, eating healthy and just, you know, living a life that is sustainable. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them now while I drink some water. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like these videos and you want to keep seeing them, because I am doing this challenge for the next 30 days. This is just day 6. And it's every weekday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, so the topics change day to day. So Monday, I'm going to be doing a live meal prep video for you guys, so you could see like kind of what I eat during the week. Yeah, oatmeal meatballs. Yeah, so oat patties are actually really good because oatmeal really takes on whatever flavor you give it. So with the oat patties, if you're putting things like, let's say, onions and garlic, some soy sauce, things like that, it's just gonna take on the savory flavor of whatever you season it with. So it works pretty well, I will say. No, I don't make my own barbecue sauce for the meatballs. No, I'm not there yet. There's some things I do make from scratch, but barbecue sauce just isn't that yet. I usually just get the store-bought brand for now. We'll see how things go, but right now, no. Oh gosh. Guys, I'm so tired. I'm very happy that it's Friday. This has been a long week. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but we made it. I'm happy the weekend is here so I can kind of just rest and just, just chill out for a little bit, get some nature, go outside, touch some grass, all the things. But yeah, I hope your guys' week has been like pretty well. So I think this is all like I have to say for today, but I will see you guys on Monday. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope that you have a great rest of the day as well. And I will see you guys on Monday at 6 p.m. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, you guys have a good rest of the day.